Alrighty, so let's get into the playing of the song. And with me, it will never be that simple. And the reason is because I don't see myself as the one to teach every chord and how to form every chord. I could do that separately, but it wouldn't be productive right now. So I'm going to work on the assumption that you have been either learning chords and learning the song possibly, and I'm just going to show you what you should look for when you're practicing and to get the song moving. And I think that's a fair compromise, because it's something that I can offer that you might not get elsewhere. Now, the first thing I should say about this song, Stay, 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 it's actually, I really have started to like it now that I've heard it 100 times, or at least these little bits. But if you can't play chords yet, one thing that is still, you can still tackle this song by going after the melody. And in hook pad, I see the melody here, but it's not the format that a beginner would want to use. But it's something like this. So that just touches on the part, and you can't see my other fingers, which I play in classical. So I have bunny fingers as how I pick. So I don't think vertical view is clearly working very well. Let me see if I could move it up a bit. No, I can't fiddle around right now. But what happens is chords are tricky because you need to like get a bunch of things on quickly and move, and then a new shape happens. So if you don't have the finger strength, you're going to struggle. And there's something called chord push-ups. So and like, let's say jazz chords are weird, and those aren't even the best shapes. I have shapes that do this, and like I have to go like, and you have to like learn how to get them moving. And it's no one this isn't handed to you by downloading it off the internet. It's not probably not even genetic. It's a trained thing. And so with the finger strength comes down to, and that might sound simple, but if you are a beginner, or you've seen a beginner play, you'll know that that's actually not that simple to get that like right on time. And then there's also the idea of a stretched pinky. And beginners struggle, and I've seen finger trainers that have a thing that helps you stretch out the pinky to go farther. So that's like the precursor to all this stuff with the chords. And then so that's like where if you are in that stage, it would have to branch off, and this video would probably stop here for you. But let's just assume that you have been playing chords, but you're still a little clunky at them. Then what you can do is use this song as a way to help you fix the issue that you can't play in time. And using this hook theory website is great because it gives us the loop of this song. So let's just So ideally, let's cut to the chase. You want to be able to play along with it at tempo. And so that when you play it on your own, you can just jump right into the song and the rhythm of it, and people will know that's the song. And funny enough, if you play this song at the wrong tempo with just the chords, someone might think it's a different pop song, because a lot of pop songs share the chord forms, the chord structure, and then if it's not played at the same tempo with the melody, you won't know what it is. So let's just go in and hit play here.
I'm pretty sure we almost broke up last night. I threw my phone across the room at you. I was expecting some dramatic turn away, but you stayed.
So fast, it's fast song, I'm not gonna lie. And it's so what the basic way to do this is, so I played that as, but if you're just getting familiar, one thing that you can get, just don't bother with those extra strums, just go with, and even that might be fast. So let me just play along with that, where you just hit one chord per whatever, lining up with the song. One chord per whatever. Okay.
I'm pretty sure we almost broke up last night. I threw my phone across the room at you. I was expecting some dramatic turn away, but you stayed. I'm pretty.
So if you can get that, now you've actually got now you have the chords on the fretboard at the right time. But again, that's going to be unrealistic if you are still working through how to push them down and all that. So then let's go into what the next strategy would be, which would be to slow the song down and find the tempo that you can move those chords at. And that's when you'll be able to start moving it up in speed. And that's a very common thing in classical music as well, because such complicated pieces require slowing down so that you can form whatever needs to happen, and then you gradually speed it up to the intended speed. So let's show you how to do that. I'm going to pause the recording quickly. So, well, I'll just show you. If you hit piano in hook theory, we get the MIDI version, which is there's actually a keyboard in your browser that is playing that, and so we don't actually, I don't see an option to slow that down right on this page, but then it gives the option to open it up in HookPad, which is up in the top right of this. And so if you open it up in there, which I'm about to do, and then make sure you can see it in my half screen, then we will be able to slow it down. Okay, so I have moved the song into the bigger program. I imagine eventually this thing will nag me to pay for it, which is totally fine. It has the tempo at 100 BPM. Let's hear what happens. I don't think this is 100 BPM, but I can also put on a metronome to check. Okay, I guess it is 100 BPM, but if you played it at the Taylor Swift recording, you would maybe call that 190 BPM. I don't want to confuse you. That was not a good statement, but there's something about the way that it is on the recording that is not registered at 100. It's like very fast. I think you'll call it like double time or something. So I've slowed it down to 87. Now here's the crux of the lesson here. Where's my camera? So the big thing is that you might feel like you're not able to do it if you can't play it fast or in a tempo that you think is what the song should be at. But that need to be a certain way and think that way will slow you down for learning. And so this lesson right here is the big thing is don't be ashamed that you need to play it slowly and that you need to go at the slowest tempo you can for the purpose of getting these chords on time. And so if it means that you have to play this at the snail's pace, well, don't be ashamed, because no one is listening to you practice. Your practice time is your workshop time. It is your time to do whatever you want, and no one should be watching you. And I was actually at the Cirque du Soleil last night, and I could imagine that in order for these people to practice, they need to have a safe space that's not in the tent where the show is. They need to go to a facility, and they need to have mats, and they have to have an environment where no one's laughing at you for doing like the most mundane thing. And so in music, the most mundane thing is slowing it down to a tempo that you would never want anyone to know that you ever played it at that tempo. But that's your secret that no one knows, because when you go out and play the song, that you're going to play it at the speed, and it's just going to magically sound like you learned it in 1 minute. But really, it could take someone quite a bit of time just to hit these chords in time. So let's play it. Let's go down to hear the 75 BPM. And then you can loop it in this tool. I'll go even slower, but now I'll play a bit more strumming. So I'll go down to 70 or 68. And that one has no drum, so you might want the click to give you a sense of how this, just to give you some extra backing. Just curious if you can also turn up the click in the mixer here. So that should be enough for this lesson. The other thing that to remind you is that there's only, in this section, in most of the song, there's 4 chords. So you would be best to memorize. You will memorize the way the shapes happen just by, the song will help you integrate it and make it whole in for you. I know that sounds really not very vague, it will. The fact that you're going to get it in time is going to get your muscle memory to like put the chords in the right spot at the right time. But I would say the other big part of it is don't get in the habit of keep referring to the chords on the page. You want to get them in your memory. There's only 4 of them, so you need to remember that. In this case, it's C, F, A minor, and G. And if you used a capo on the song, then it would be the same chords. You would just have capo on your guitar, and it's the same. So you need to memorize those chords. You should probably almost never look at them again, so that you can focus on getting them to play in time with the music, and not using some of your brain power to read what's that chord again. Because as you keep progressing, you want to, as you tackle more songs, you want to make sure that you are memorizing the chords, because then you can do other things. You can start to like play the melody at the same time, or in a song that has a lot more chords, you'll have the habit of memorizing those chords, so you don't always need a chord sheet in front of you when you accompany people or if you're singing, right? So that's it for this lesson. And just remember to always find a way to slow things down. There are many tools other than HookPad that you can use to slow down music. I forget there's one for the Mac application, but in YouTube itself has a slow. It doesn't sound great, but you could maybe use that as well. If it keeps the pitch, then that's an option as well. So give that a shot, and good luck.